So, All For One is the newest character in the game for the third time now, and I'm seeing many people say that this is his strongest form yet, which is an extremely weighted statement because the other two are just really good. Let's break it down. The most obvious reason why he's strong is also just the biggest reason why. Red AFO's Gamma, so cleverly named I'll Punch You, is just so good for so many reasons. Basically, the move by itself just sends him forward and punches. Crazy. But you're able to charge at the cost of alpha and or beta percent, making it go further, or stun, or do more damage, and create a shockwave, and also remove any 250 HP character from the files of the game immediately. The damage alone on this thing is enough to make any Shinzo player jealous, not to mention just how far it goes. For reference, Red AFO is consistently able to keep up with Purple Shiggy in terms of movement, which not many characters are able to do. Also a quick fun fact, at level 9, the cooldown for it is 4 seconds. Yippee! On top of all this baloney about the Gamma, he has a beta which can be casted out and stuns which can lead to an easy Gamma follow-up from completely unknown angles. Another one of his just greatest strengths, which feels so obvious but also so easily overlooked, is his quirk swap. The fact that AFO can simply swap to any other character in the game randomly at any time is just ludicrous. Like fighting Red AFO? Yeah, it's doable. Dodge gammas, whatever. Fighting Red AFO who can randomly swap to the double speed, unkillable touch you and you die instantly, man. That's a lot harder, you know? And a factor about the quirk swap people don't consider when you're talking about him is that the opponent doesn't know what quirk you have unless you've just seen him. Alright, picture this. You're fighting AFO, and he uses both gammas, so you think to yourself, huh, that was a close one. Glad I can now heal around a corner. Oh, hmm, okay. While we're on the topic of quirk swapping, y'all remember Prime Monoma? Uh, oh, and you hated him. But bad news. Something that was easily predictable happened. Since AFO can swap between quirks, he can shuffle between abilities, which either slow down his descent or allow him to gain height when he runs out of his own cooldowns. I tested it and found that he can air stall for at least 10 seconds longer than the cooldown of him swapping quirks. That's only at level 1, by the way. This is quite obviously game breaking, especially when you consider Monoma did the same exact thing, but at least he kind of had to come down at some point, I guess. AFO just doesn't have to come down with some quirks. This is the only part of his kit, like, I really am frightened by or scared about. Because if you have the right one, like Yellow AFO, or Green Neige, or Nagant, for example, you can get value while being in a spot where a large section of the cast can either barely reach you, or just can't at all. If I had the power, or the say to change it, I would make it so that his own quirk and obtained quirk have completely separate cooldown timers. Like they would kind of like run in the background, you know, so he couldn't just swap infinitely in the air. I think Red AFO is a notably good character where if you don't know how to fight him, he could definitely like wreck your match. That being said, I don't actually think he's top 5 since he's just really not as consistent as some of the other characters who are up there. Not to mention he loses pretty hard to just really good characters like Nagant or even Tamaki, for example. I think he might end up as like a top 10 gatekeeper, like where if you're not better than Red AFO, you just can't be considered top 10. I appreciate you coming this far and listening and watching. Have a nice day.